the Morning Breath Livestream, where we start our day with coherence. I am your host, Jeremy Tennell, systems designer and coherence coach. This is week 9, day 43 of our 14-week journey entitled The Path of Personal Transformation. We're a long ways into this, 9 weeks. And this week we are discussing how when you get this far into a process of transformation and change, you can run into some roadblocks. Today, we talk about something most people avoid, the cost. Everyone thinks they want to grow. Very few people are willing to pay for it. Because growth isn't just addition, it's subtraction too. It costs you comfort, familiarity, certain relationships, old identities. And if nothing in your life is being challenged, you're not changing. There was a point in my own work where I wanted transformation, but I didn't want disruption, comfortable where I was, but I was working hard to become more. I wanted clarity without losing anything. I wanted growth without tension. And for a while, I convinced myself that it was possible and changed nothing around me. But eventually I noticed, became aware that conversations felt stale. Certain dynamics didn't fit anymore. Some relationships required me to stay who I no longer wished to be. And that's when it hit me. Growth wasn't just asking me to become something new. It was asking me to let some things go. Growth creates friction because when you change, your environment doesn't automatically adjust. People expect consistency. Systems expect predictability. And when you disrupt that, there's resistance. Not because you're wrong, but because you're different. So the real question becomes, are you willing to be misunderstood while you're becoming alive? This is where most people stall. They feel the tension of transformation, calling them beyond where they currently are, inviting them to let go of the comfortable. And then they adapt backwards, not forwards, back into old roles, old reactions, old identities, because it's easier to be accepted than it is to be aligned. But being in alignment does have a cost. It may cost you approval and comfort, certainty, friends, social groups. And if you're not prepared for that, if you are unwilling to make that exchange for change, you'll trade growth for familiarity every single time. From a systems perspective, growth disrupts equilibrium because change is the eternal constant of the universe. Human systems are designed to stabilize patterns. So when you change your behavior, the system will attempt to pull you back into its previous comfortable state. The dynamic looks like this. Feedback loops are in constant motion around you, but your attempt at change is a disruption to that loop. You're creating resistance, but the loop is creating reinforcement. So unless you hold to the change with consistency and integrity, nothing changes. You've got to get up early. You've got to continue with personal practice, even when it's difficult, even when it's hard, even when it's causing disruption. You have to keep your commitments that you made to yourself because human systems don't adapt to intention. They adapt to sustained behavior. So the question isn't, why is this hard? The question is, am I consistent enough to let the system reorganize around me? Think of it this way. If change is a river, culturally, we've been conditioned to prioritize belonging, to maintain harmony, to disrupt, to avoid disruption, and to stay consistent for others, because human systems prefer consistency. But growth demands disruption, because becoming someone new doesn't always fit within the expectations of who you used to be. And not everyone will grow with you. That's not failure, that's reality. So today, take time to be honest with yourself. Where is growth creating tension in your life right now? Where are you being asked to hold your ground? Not aggressively, not reactively, but clearly. Because this is the moment where because they can't grow, but because they spend some time today in your journals with those questions. And then take an inventory. What is my growth currently costing me? Spend some time figuring out where you're letting go And where am I tempted to shrink back to avoid that cost? Be aware of what it is you are exchanging. But if your growth is moving towards a better you, if your growth is moving towards a more stable you, a more resilient you, a more coherent you, find a comfortable seat, sit up straight, roll your shoulders back. Let's take a big inhale through our nose, exhale with our mouth, inhale through our nose. I am targeting my heart. Let's inhale about 6 seconds. Begin our gratitude list. Back into the space. There are many kinds of breath work. The kind we do in this short period of time in the morning is a simple breath work technique that brings awareness to our breath, expands our emotional and intuitive cognitive centers by creating and connecting it with gratitude. If this resonates with you, stay with the work, even if it costs you something. Growth will ask more from you than you're comfortable. The question is, are you willing to give it? Take a breath, hold your ground. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m.